He threw me up the stairs of our house, and that didn't seem to be enough damage, so he dragged me up the stairs and threw me down the stairs.
My father had committed suicide when I was quite young. It made it hard for me to get close to people and to trust people that were in my life.
When you're homeless, you don't really care about anything except for yourself and where you're going to sleep and what's your next meal.
My dad was very abusive to my mom, and he was an alcoholic. And so, I was really on guard all the time.
I'd probably be dead today. Because I probably would have offed myself, because that's where I was headed, really, truly.
The day I came home from the hospital was the first time he hit my mom. I left home when I was 16, but when I was 12 years old, I thought about leaving many times. When I got pregnant, I was 18 years old.
You get used to people either not talking to you or just being a little bit wary of how to approach you, because it's a difficult subject with most people.
So we're living in about a 700 square foot house with one of her brothers and my wife, myself, and our first daughter.
I was 14 years old when I started using drugs.
Difficult to describe, really. It's more of a just how people tend to look at you, right? So if you're visually impaired, some people have no interest in approaching you. And once I started losing my hearing, it's something totally different. Begin to not be able to hear in common situations in a school or on the street or anything like that.
I have two families. I have my real family, and then I have my street family. And my street family is like 200 people.
Started out as very light drinking in my early teens, in the 14, 15-year-old area. I progressed from that into some very heavy drinking and more harder type drugs, cocaine, and then eventually led me into to crack.
Well, I was living with my eldest daughter. She was very verbally abusive to me. A lot of us think that abuse is physical, but it's very much more psychological.
By the time I was completely immersed in the violence, it was very difficult for me to get out alive.
I was in jail for 4 months. I didn't like it, and I just felt really, really alone, because even though I had a cellmate and everything, but I really missed my friends and my mom and my sister.
Ultimately, the best choice was to keep my baby and to just do the best I could do.
My guide dog's name is Kazam. The goal generally for us as a team is to get from one place to another without hurting either myself, Kazam, or another person.
I went from a $20-some an hour job to a $13 an hour job.
It stole anybody that I loved away from me, and I basically didn't want anybody around me because I was empty inside and didn't have anything to offer anybody.
My youngest daughter could see that, I was really going downhill. I wasn't bathing or changing my clothes.
We have joint custody. When things get really bad with him, he's done it before, he'll kidnap her, because he knows that's the most awful thing he could do to me now. Sorry.
When I decided to finally get some real help is when I was starting to think about prostituting myself on the street. And that's when I said, okay, that's enough.
I was just doing nothing but sitting on the couch, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I turned to Tara, Center for Pregnant and Parenting Teens, and they gave me all the resources I need to succeed in life.
Our house for addiction recovery is geared around not just fixing the addiction of the substance that you're abusing. Our house is about fixing what's inside of you and what's wrong with you. Our house was the 7th in a row of addiction recovery centers that I had gone to. I needed to go somewhere where I needed to not only get off the alcohol and the drugs, but I also needed to fix what was wrong with me inside. And I needed at least a full year to do that.
When you come to the Safe Society, they do safety planning, They give you resources, and they walk you through it step by step so that you're not walking this path alone. You can't walk this path alone.
It's just incredibly important to have guide dog services in Alberta that are able to supply and train the dogs to the standards that a guide dog needs to be trained to, and then take it one step further and help those hundreds of blind people out there getting into that independence that everybody wants to have so badly.
They want the right people for the program. So there's not many mortgages that you get that says you have to keep your yard clean, that say you have to be a good neighbor. So the best thing I like about the program is that I have to be a good neighbor, and all my neighbors have to be good neighbors. And I honestly do have the best neighbors, and Habitat gave them to me.
The Safe House, what they did for me was they changed my life completely. They give you like a safe place to stay, you know, and you don't have anyone calling you down or spending your money or mistreating you in that way.
The youth emergency shelter helped me a lot. Like, they gave me pretty much almost everything I got. Like, they gave me a place, they gave me food, they gave me a lot of support.
My mom guided me to the Dream Center because it was a long-term program. I've done rehabs before. They didn't work. I needed a long-term, I needed to learn how to live without drugs, not just go and learn how to not do drugs. I know how to not do drugs. I need to know how to live without the drugs.
Hello. Tara has made all the difference in my life. They have given me all the supports I've needed to become successful.
For more than a quarter century, Realtors have supported the Realtors Community Foundation by helping more than 30 local charities a year. Together, we're helping create success stories like these every day.
I would like to say to the Realtors Community Foundation, thanks for all your support and everything you have given Tara to help them become successful and make me successful.
I thank them for all the visually impaired people that are gonna get a guide dog, and maybe all those other people that are getting the support.
Pretty thankful for them for like helping the shelter out, because they gave me a place to stay. They gave me a lot of food because I could eat a lot, so it's all good.
I'm really grateful to all the people that support the Safe House because it's just made such a big change in my life.
If I could say something to the Realtors Community Foundation, I'd just say thanks for making it possible for me to have a home, and not just myself, but for many people that they've helped provide homes for.
I never saw the financial side of it, and I never got to meet the people that were helping me, but I mean, it brings tears to my eyes to think that there's people that don't know my name, don't know my story, don't know what I'm all about, or what I had the potential to be, that were helping me, sight unseen. That's one of the most special things.
To the realtors that support the Edmonton Dream Center, I would say thank you very much, because my life has changed because of your support. I know that I can do anything that I put my mind to now, and I'm always going to be an addict, but I know how to live as an addict now, and I just know there's certain things that I can't do, and I'm okay with that.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for keeping me alive and keeping my daughter safe. Thank you.